So today has been a very Pat-heavy day, and I'm already working on a Pat thing and don't feel like shoehorning this news into it. So I decided to just do a short talking about, 6/29/2023 in the world of Pat. I woke up to read Pat was in the Washington Post, and I was not disappointed. Supreme Court's ruling on online harassment outrages victims and advocates by Taylor Lorenz, who is herself a bit of a piece of shit. It's just lie after unchecked lie. And I took to Twitter to analyze a single paragraph of this story to just highlight the lies by omission and the general lack of research that went into this. Tomlinson, an author, has had the police sent to his home more than 43 times in swatting incidents. Now, what this doesn't look at is who's behind the swatting. I said, with calls to police coming from unconfirmed source and with evidence pointing to Patrick himself as the culprit, including his Bitcoin wallet being used in SWAT for hire transactions. No mention of that. None, but whatever. He said stalkers have stolen personal information and impersonated him in an effort to destroy his credit score. Now, this is a guy who's been told by judges that he owes people money, and he continues pretending that if he just pretends that he doesn't know that he owes people money, then he doesn't owe people money. I don't believe Patrick had a particularly good credit score before any of this went down. And finally, they've flooded sites with one-star reviews of his books, in some cases before the books were even released. Now, this goes back to 2019. This was a short period of time, and I covered it. I covered it in Pat 2. I'm not going to put you through the story again. You can go check it out. But he was caught paying for 5-star reviews. And yeah, this was his comeuppance. But do go check it out. Link in the description. I strongly recommend. It is certainly a more creative and wonderfully original work of fiction than Pat has ever produced working solo. So there's that. But anyway, that's boring. Articles are fucking boring. But that's alright, because Pat put out this. Anyone who has followed our cyberstalking, swatting ordeal these last few years may want to tune into NBC Nightly News in about 35 minutes. Just saying. And that meant national news. Pat was going to share his delusions with the country. Fantastic. I couldn't wait. And as 6 p.m. turned to about 6:45, I was greeted with a familiar, bloated, alcoholic, sweaty head.
In 2018, science fiction author Patrick Tomlinson posted a casual tweet.
I simply said that I'd never personally found the comedian Norm Macdonald funny.
It caught the attention of online harassers who began swatting Patrick and his wife Nikki at their Milwaukee home. Swatting is when false calls trick 911 dispatchers into sending an all-out armed response. The experience can be terrifying.
I make my way downstairs to find that there are half a dozen police with pistols drawn, shotguns, AR-15s, flashlights all pointed at my head. I am pulled out of the house, and then on my own front porch I'm handcuffed.
And not just once.
Our house has been swatted 42 times now.
42 times police have actually come in some form to your door?
Yes.
No central agency tracks swatting, but one estimate put the number at more than 1,000 incidents in 2019 alone. Over just 6 days this April, at least 9 universities were victims. And police estimate each incident costs communities more than $10,000. Patrick and Nikki are still constantly harassed.
They've been texting us during this interview.
And their harassers use voice synthesizers and other technology to mask their identity.
Maybe you should get a real job. Then again, you'll be able to learn a trade in prison.
At the same time, they can't get the police to stop coming.
The Milwaukee Police Department tells NBC News they have been to Patrick and Nikki's house at least 40 times, but they didn't share any ideas for how they're going to solve this problem.
In a statement, they told us MPD has a duty to respond to calls for service in order to ensure that no one is in danger.
How dangerous is swatting?
It's extremely dangerous.
Now, the FBI is getting involved, creating a swatting command center so police departments can exchange information.
We know the problem exists throughout the country. I think the FBI recognizes that we have resources available to help track what's going on, to be able to easily share information with one another, to report incidents.
Meanwhile, Patrick and Nikki are in their 5th year of daily harassment.
What has it done to the two of you to be in this position?
It's taken away our sanctuary. We don't feel safe in our own home.
Every department in this country should have policies, procedures, and training around it. People have died from it. There is no excuse.
A waste of public resources and a nightmare for its victims. Jake Ward, NBC News, Milwaukee.
So, a few things just to call out Pat on his lies right off the bat. Here's a tweet from before his Norm tweet and his first encounter with OnA Forums, where he is already claiming to be a victim of gang stalking and harassment, even blaming the NRA for being in on it. Furthermore, if this report is to be believed, Patrick S. Tomlinson makes up 4% of all swatting calls in the United States of America, including private citizens, businesses, schools, government institutions. How has this culprit not been caught? It almost sounds like bullshit. Anyway, that's all I got for today. Give me about a month. Pat 4.5 will be coming out. We will talk about Pat's gang, his gang of anti-stalker gang stalkers, and an innocent old lady who gets caught up in Patrick's ruthless crossfire. So that'll be fun. Bye.